Look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the breaks and the pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I don't ever bother with a critic. Hit him with a chronicle of Riddick. Boom, bottle full of Ritalin. I hit him with a little bit of riddle me this, riddle me that. My bad, fell asleep at the gas. No time to wait though. Elon Musk, I'm trying to bankroll. New Tesla just cause I say so. Electric whip like Ivan Vanko. I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Okay, let's get it.
I've been on a mission like totally spice. My baddie, she bad, but she totally nice. Die was a blue en het toes wil ik white. Ik compie niet met jou, dat is hoe voor mijn lijk. He knew it for sure, but he left with a why. Yeah, we live, but we destined to die. En just say it on me, but I'm ending a lie. I'm a lie. En ik voel me net Memphis de paai. En ik jag op de goed in de scene. Moest eigenlijk rennen, we lopen misschien. En ik wil niet eens kijken, mijn ogen die zien. En serieus niet genoeg dat ik kopen we 10. Hoef in een beam. Hier co-star. I got 5 on my name, I got no star. Come to me just to see how my shoes are.
They said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Go. Okay, let's get it.
And we are live.
Ar viņu tad kādam liek?
Welcome everyone. My name is Kristaps. I go by Mr.Playbook because we only take playbook setups or nothing. We stay sit. We stay disciplined, patient, just wait for our setups. So yeah, let's see, today is Friday, last day of the week, and we just had CPI news 15 minutes ago. First of all, let's go check what happened. Calendar. So CPI today, Friday the 10th, negative. So gold should go up because gold is the only thing we trade on this channel, and I've been trading gold for 3.5 years now consistently. So let's see. If we look at the gold on the daily time frame, we can clearly see that we created a new support and we broke above previous resistance, which means that this candle should continue popping higher and higher. But let's see, that's the daily chart. If you go lower to the 4-hour, what we can see that we clearly have a resistance and we are trying to create a support. So this is the range we are in. Let's see. So just remember that CPI news were red, negative. So ideally we are looking for buys based on the daily and the news. The 4-hour, it's still bearish. We broke all the highs, I assume, just from the news, and we already filled this wick, but there's a lot more room to go. So let's see what the 1-hour did. So the 1-hour actually already broke out of the previous range. If we see, we had this range before and we actually broke out, and during the news we had a pop higher, but we are now rejecting as we fill this wick. If you go lower to 30-minute, we can see same thing. We already actually created a fake out just before news, and this candle looks like it's massively rejecting to the downside. And what about the 15 minute? Yeah, 15 minute looks choppy. There's no clear range above. Yeah, but that's quite high above here. That's the ideal, but I don't think that that's gonna be the case today. So today we're gonna focus on this previous resistance, just to do the fact that that's the most recent, and we can see we had one tap, two taps inside, one resistance, second resistance. So this level is pretty damn important. So that's why we're gonna use this. We could potentially use this, which is the most recent resistance, but I'm just gonna stay at this for now. So let's put buys above. Again, we have this thing popping up. I cannot understand why. Yeah, top step app is glitching again. Okay. Why does it keep happening? Somebody has an idea, because I don't. Okay, we can just do this. Okay. So let's see. And sells. Honestly, for sales, it's quite rough. I wouldn't say that I'm gonna look for sales today at all, due to the fact that the daily is bullish above the range. 4 hours pushing up, is gonna close in 1 hour, potentially bullish for us to continue. Daily bias, 4 hour bias, negative news on the dollar, which should push gold up. All we need to wait now are closures, and this week potentially is going to be very important for us today. So what I'm going to wait for now, so let's say it's 10 more minutes for this 15 to close. If this 15 minute can close, oh sorry, I need to open up Zoom so I can draw my beautiful candles. Give me 2 seconds, I'm gonna set this up, I forgot. Okay, so we're gonna grab our tools and let's draw some candles. Okay, I need to share the second screen. This one. Okay, let's see, can we do it now? Yes, perfect. Okay, so what we're gonna wait now for potential playbook setups for now is one. If this candle can reject all the way and close something like this, so very weak above the previous range, then if the next candle is gonna be 1 hour close and 1 hour, in that case gonna close above bullish, strong bullish candle. 30-minute is gonna close again above the previous levels, bullish with the wick. So my aim would be for this candle, if it closes the way I drew, as it is 1 hour, we will need to wait for a bottom wick, just because it's an 1 hour closure, and then this would be our trade, this would be our entry, and this would be our full take profit. So that's the idea, which possibly could happen in the next 8 minutes. If that does not happen, and if we close the way we are now, it's gonna mean that the 30, as long as 30, I would say, closes above this, let's say the 15, yeah, as long as 30 closes above, and 1 hour closes above, we can take the trade which I just drew out. So it doesn't need to be very, very small candle. This would be perfect, because wicks, what is a wick? A wick is a range left by the previous candle for the next candle to follow, which means that in high times of volume most wicks are gonna get filled. That's why this wick was filled on the news candle. And I believe that if we have a setup and a high volume time, there's a very high chance that we're gonna fill this wick. And if that's the case, we're gonna try and execute on our playbook and end this week on a very nice note. But let's see, we still have 5 more minutes for this closure. Let's have a look at silver. We trade just gold, but I'm thinking of starting to sample size some silver trades, just because gold lately hasn't given us many setups. And basically, on average, I would say 1 to 2, maybe 3 setups a week, which it's not bad. But the market has changed. A year ago, on average, I would say 1 to 2 trades a day, which is like 5 to 10 a week. But now it's like 2 to 3 a week based on 2 sessions. So I trade London and I trade New York session. So that's what I'm basing on. So let's see what the silver does. Same thing, daily, very strong bullish above the previous resistance. Perfect for us to continue going up. 4 hour, same as gold, because silver and gold, they do tend to move quite the same, but not directly. But for now, this looks very, very similar to gold. So we are bearish on the previous 4 hour, but we've broken not all the highs, but at least we created the wick for this previous 4 hour candle. 1 hour, as you can see, 1 hour already tapped 1 hour target. So for buys, it's gonna be, we're gonna need some structure on lower time frames. Let's have a look. Okay, so 30-minute clearly is trying to respect this level. So if we can close, ideally we now create this resistance, and then the 9 a.m. candle opens up, let's say opens up, creates a lower wick trying to fill previous candle's wick, and closes like this at New York Stock Exchange open, we have a very high chance for the next candle to retest this level, because as you can see, it's going to be a brand new support breakout. We have a clear range, we have a wick to fill, which we can use as our advantage point, which means we can take some partials or just close full and be done with the wick. Just take a base hit and go by our days. So that is for silver. You can look at 15 minutes, but I don't think that we need to. Yeah, the 15 is already doing what we just drew out. We're gonna use the same levels. So yeah, all we need to do now is wait. Silver, definitely I'm gonna wait for New York Stock Exchange open, so nothing in the next half an hour. Let's see what gold does. Okay, so gold is looking good, exactly what we drew out. All we need to do now is wait. minute and a half, gold just stay wherever it is, don't push up, and we are potentially gonna have our first actual live setup. So let's see, 1 more minute. Let's check the ranges. So the ideal stop loss would be 110 pips for, sorry, I want to remove this, for like an 80 pip target, which is okay. 0.8, yeah, 0.8, 0.7 risk to reward ratio. Not ideal, but that's what I'm been seeing on average, up to on average 0.8, maybe 1 risk to reward ratio on these setups. But they can achieve 80% win rate. So with 80% win rate and 0.8 risk to reward ratio, we should be golden. But we are not there yet. So okay, let's be ready. I'm gonna place my buy stops, but I'm just gonna wait, because this is, remember, this is 1 hour candle closing. So this 1 hour candle needs to create a proper wick. You might ask where. Ideally I would say maybe this level. Let's have a look previously. Yeah, this, even a little bit higher. At least back into the range. That's the ideal bottom wick for this trade. And timing wise, ideally as well, is going to take us a few minutes to do that. Because let's say if we go down in the next 10-15 seconds, we reject and we enter on the first minute of the 1 hour candle, that's not ideal, because who knows what's going to happen in the next hour, and that 1 hour candle wants to create a bigger bottom wick before actually going to the target. So that's why ideally it's going to take a little bit of time for us to create this bottom wick. And if it doesn't, if it just flies, it is what it is. That's not part of our plan. So now we have touched the previous range, which I believe is enough for me to put a buy stop. It's already been a minute and a half on this 1 hour candle. We could use current candle stops, which is 63 pips. We can use this, which obviously is more safe, but I think we're just gonna use stops back in the range. Let's see, can we get activated? Almost. It needs to break the previous candle high. Because everything is in our favor. Daily is bullish. 4 hour broke all the highs, even though it's bearish. 1 hour closed above. 13 closed above. 15 closed above. Gave us this perfect rejection with a very weak bearish candle. And if we can break this high, I believe that we are gonna fill this wick. And that's gonna be our target for today. So if we're gonna use, yeah, let's let's go 1-to-1, so 86 and around 86 for a stop loss as well, for 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Because there are times when we can use current candle stops, which ain't ideal, because I've been stopped out by a pip or two so many times that I'm just sick of it, honestly. That's why I do not use current candle stops anymore. There's only two ways I use stop. It is a previous candle, ideally, or if we can't use previous candle, we just do them below the range, anywhere below. So now that we actually broke the low again, this is even better for us, because what we are trading is 1 hour and 30-minute candle. This 15, it doesn't matter, because if it just pushes down and again can close up, if this candle, let's say, if this candle does this and closes like this, it's even better, because then it's gonna be 4:15, high volume time. We rejected numerous times previous ranges, and as soon as we break the high on the next candle, that should be the move, either now or we just continue to wait. The only way I'm gonna take this buy stop off is if we have less than 5 minutes left on the candle, because what we don't want to happen is this candle, let's say, breaks the high in the last 2 minutes and closes like this with no top wick, because no top wick means there is no range to go higher. It doesn't mean it's not gonna go higher, it just means there's a less probability. So that's what we do not want to happen, and that's why in the last 5 minutes I delete and I wait for a candle to close. And if the next candle closes anywhere above, we are good to go. Let's see, we still have 9 minutes for this candle to close. You can still feel the whole wick, because now it's volume time and everything is in our favor.
Order filled.
And we are in order filled. So our TP just a little bit below, and as we said, let's do 1-to-1. The only way I exit this trade sooner is if this candle closes like this. That's the only way I'm gonna go out full here. Might ask, would I go break even? Not yet. If we push higher, I would definitely go break even, but for now I don't see any advantage points for me to take partials or go break even, so we're just gonna let this one run. And in the worst case scenario, when would I exit the trade? At least manage it. Obviously, full stops are hit, they are hit. Or if this candle closes like strong bearish, like this, then I would potentially look to close this trade early. Because usually what I do, I wait for the candles to go back into the range and then I close. So let's say if this candle closes like this, we are still above the range, but our stop loss is so close. So again, this would be a wiggle room for improvement. So let's see what's gonna happen on this beautiful Friday. We have volume, so let's look at this one more time, just to convince ourselves that this is a good trade. So basically, daily is bullish, closed above resistance. We already created a nice bottom wick for this daily candle. 4 hour is definitely pushing up, just all the highs are broken and we are pushing up. And half an hour ago CPI news came negative for the dollar, which is positive for gold. That again means that we are bullish. 1 hour closed above all these levels, clear lines to the upside, created a beautiful bottom wick, and we entered on this current 1 hour high. On 30 minute, again we created new support above all these previous ranges. We created a bottom wick and we entered on the current candle high for us to do this wick fill. And 15 gave us an extra confirmation with this weak bearish candle. It came back into the range, it rejected again, and it closed above, which means that this level is a massive rejection level. As you can see, this candle respected this low, this candle respected this low, this candle respected this low, and we broke the high. So there's a very high chance that we are gonna see this wick being filled. This is just normal market volatility, so we just need to let the candles breathe. And let's see what's gonna happen. So this is our first trade live. We already took one trade this week, but that was after live stream, and that was a beautiful win for us. So if we can get another win this week, phenomenal. If we can't, it is what it is. We followed the plan. We triple check that this trade is a playbook setup. We're just gonna go enjoy our weekend and come back on Monday and do the same thing all over again. So it doesn't matter. It's a win, it's a loss. It should not matter. One trade never should impact your trading at all. It's all about series of trades. Next 20, 50, 100 trades. That's what's important. This trade is just one of the 100. So we just need to try and remember that this is a long-term game and single trade does not matter. So let's see, unfortunately we are rejecting and we have still 3 minutes for this closure. So let's see what it's gonna do. We can keep this stop loss, we can move stop loss, but I never ever love to move stop losses. So if I decided to go for this 1-to-1 back in the range stop loss, I'm gonna stick to it. Okay, 3 minutes. We need to see how this candle closes. Because if this candle closes against us, there's a potential for us to manage this trade. But hopefully it closes as we would love for it to close, something like this. Perfect. We just keep our stops, we don't touch anything, and we just manage based on the market movements. But if it does this, then we are loving life. We still have 2 minutes. With gold, everything's possible. So let's just wait and see. Now we need to wait for this closure. There's literally nothing we can do until these 2 minutes passed. Because we enter on candle closures and we manage risk on candle closures. Everything else is a noise. So what do you guys like? Do you like the trade? Would you actually take it? Okay, 1 more minute left. Do you... Let's see, I'm gonna pop out this chat. Okay, 50 seconds. As I said, if it's a loss, if it's a win, I'm not bothered, because I will gonna execute the same setup all over again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every single time I will execute the setup, and I know that out of 100 trades, 70 to 80 of them should fill this week. If this one doesn't, it does not mean that we are wrong. It just means that we are on the other side of probability. Because it's easy to think that every time you lose you are wrong, or every time you win you are right. But it does not work like that in trading. Because everyone can win. You can just open a position and win. But it doesn't really say that you can do it 100 times. Win once, that's fine. Win 100 times, that's already something to be proud of. So okay, we have our closure. We did close bullish, weak bullish, rejecting from both sides, but still we still closed above all these ranges. So again, there is nothing for me to do until we close in 14 minutes, or we hit our stop loss or our take profit. And this is actually good that we are now in a drawdown. So if it creates this wick, there's a high chance that it's just gonna try to fill this and this. And as soon as we fill this wick, we can think of managing this trade. Maybe going break even, not taking partials because it's like 36 pips. But there's a potential if we now create this low and take out this high that we can manage, or reduce our stop loss, or go break even. In this case, as the market is still volatile and we are waiting on open, I would just move this stop and reduce risk from 1200 to 900. So that already would give me less loss than I expected, which is always the goal. It's always the goal to lose less than expected. It doesn't happen always, obviously, but if the market shows you that you can manage the trade properly, you should always do it. Okay, give me 2 seconds, I'll be back. Hopefully it's gonna go to our profit. So looks like we broke the high of this candle, but we started rejecting as soon as we did it. but there's definitely volume in the market, so we just need to be on this side of the probability today. No, now it's all a waiting game. We're gonna have New York Stock Exchange open in 12 minutes. As long as we're still in, there's a very high chance that it's gonna fill our wick. Obviously nobody likes drawdown, like I'm looking at it now, and I'm not loving it, but we need to understand that drawdown is part of my system. So let's see, will our stop loss save us today? Okay, that was nice. We almost got hit and it just moved literally 50 pips in a second. So hopefully this was the lower wick which it wanted to create. Because if we can now break the high, we should be good. We should pop out higher. The only thing that now, if it breaks the high, there's not really a room for us to manage our risk. The only thing we can do is go break even. But honestly, I do not want to go break even too soon, because that hurt me many times last year, going break even too soon emotionally, because I just wanted the risk off the table. And it hurt my trading a lot by going break even emotionally, just to get rid of all the risk. Obviously it feels good. It feels good to go break even, knowing that there is no risk on the table. The only thing you can is make money. Obviously it feels awesome, but that's why it's dangerous, because you are gonna be tempted to do it sooner than you actually should. Because we are all feeling uncomfortable while we're in a trade. That's a fact. And moving stops to break even, it's a good feeling. But we need at least to break this high for us to do something. Unfortunately, taking partials would be too soon. Because we love taking partials. Instead of just waiting for full TP, we just take partials, base hit, break even, and then just let this thing run with zero emotions. Okay, so we broke the high of the previous. Now we can definitely go break even and just wait for our TP to be hit. When we're gonna get closer to our TP, I'm gonna start managing trailing my stop from below, so basically catching the price in between. But that's when we get closer, because we don't want it to reject just before our take profit, because it doesn't always feel the whole wick. It can feel 80% of the wick, 70, 90. So that is the full TP, but we are obviously aware that it can reject anytime. We just need a little push and we are gonna be golden. Once it breaks this high, I think we are good. So let's see, can we do it? Our first live stream, looking to hit full TP. Can we do it on our first try? on a Friday. There would be nothing more amazing than this, to catch a full TP on a Friday live in front of a single viewer. So welcome and hello. I hope you are enjoying this as much as I am. We have 6 more minutes for disclosure. Ideally, we do not want to see disclosure while we are still in a trade, just because it's gonna be New York Stock Exchange Open, the next candle, and obviously it can still go down just to create the bottom wick to go up, and still gonna be bullish. But as our stops are now at break even, we just might not survive. But we will stay in, obviously, if the closure is good, if everything is as expected, we're gonna stay in. And let's see. Obviously we are rejecting, we did not fill the whole week, and we rejected. But we are keeping a discipline. We do not close trades earlier than necessary, because that's a very bad habit to do. Because sometimes earlier I could like just close here just because I was afraid, but that messes with my probability. And the same was with my emotional break-even trades. That messes with the probability as well. If I go break-even too fast just because I'm emotional, the probability is gone. So that's why I've chosen to now wait for full TPs and break-even points as I should. Here now obviously it's a bit different because there's no real advantage points for me to use for break-even or partials, because it's just 1 wick to fill. So I could have done 2 things: just leave the trade as it is, not to go break-even. But because it's a Friday, again, it shouldn't really matter. It's a Wednesday, Friday, Thursday or Monday. But on a Friday, go out with a loss wouldn't be ideal for my weekend. So that's why we're protecting ourselves, we are protecting our well-being, and we are protecting our profits. All we need is a small push. What would be like 20 pips of our target. Are we gonna be a bit short today? Potentially. There is a potential for us to be a little bit short for our first perfect day. Or we're just gonna pop up right now and just fill it and be done with it. But what we don't want to see is obviously our stop loss got hit. Not stop loss, our break-even point. And we were very, very close to it. Are you guys excited for this trade? Because technically, you shouldn't be. There shouldn't be no excitement or no sadness in the market. That's how you mess up. If you're too excited on your wins, you're gonna grieve and be sad on your losses. And that's gonna be a never-ending cycle of emotional madness. So you want to try and keep as neutral, as calm as you can. On your losses, on your wins, they all should feel the same. Because as we spoke earlier, everything is about the next 100 trades, the next year. What happens today, it does not affect what's gonna happen on Monday. because Monday we are back anyways, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna execute the same setup. We're gonna do everything exactly the same, because we know our probability, and our probability says that we should fill most of this wick, which we already did, and we have 1 minute left. Ideally we just push up, close with no top wick, and I'm out. But if we close something like we are now, I'm gonna take partials, maybe 10 contracts off, just because we are still gonna push up, I believe, but the bottom wick which will be created can kick us out of the trade. So that's why I would just book some partials, limit sell 10. So we are gonna close, what is it, 70% of our trade in 29 minutes regardless. But ideally we do not need, if this is gonna break, we are just gonna trail to our take profit. 15 more seconds. Oh no, what was that? Whoa. Yeah, guys, we just wanted to trail and it did not end well. Yeah, and there's no point of closing now, and
Order filled.
and we are out, guys. Unfortunately, that is very unfortunate, I'll be honest. We were 3 seconds away from booking our first win of this stream, and price just did what price always does. It does not care about our take profits, our stop losses, about our feelings, about our dreams, and about our ambitions. It does not literally care. It does what it's want to do, and it's always gonna do the same. So yeah, let's go and check if we did everything correct. So yeah, the daily, as we know, closed support above the resistance. The 4 hours literally pushing up, breaking all the highs. 1 hour closed above the high, created a nice lower wick. 30-minute closed above, leaving this beautiful wick, creating a low and pushing up. We almost had it. And the 15, just beautiful, created us a very weak bearish candle above the previous range. We touched the previous support and we tried to fill it. The next candle opened up. There's nothing we could do on this candle because it's closed above, it closed bullish. Yeah, not the prettiest, but our edge is still there. And this one, it literally popped 10 pips from our stop loss and then just pushed back up. And in the past few seconds, unfortunately for us to grab our profits, this candle just decided to drop like 50 pips in 1 second. And next candle, as I said, I still believe that it can go until this wick. The problem is this lower wick, because it can go all the way here and still fill it, and I do not want to be a part of it. That's why we went break even and we got stopped out at break even. So I believe on this candle my edge basically is gone, you would say, because we're already quite high, we already filled most of the wick, and so the edge is thinner, which we necessarily do not want to have. We want to have the best chance of us winning, and the best chance of us doing that was which we entered. So, and again, this volume just goes up and down 100 pips in 1 second. So it is what it is. It was still a good trade. I'm gonna take it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday again, if we are given the chance to do so. So yeah, any questions about trade, about myself, about anything? Because I can see that we are having one viewer, but I don't know if it's real, if it's a bot. So if you can hear me, just drop hello on the chat. I would love to see that someone is watching me. No, that's fine, that's fine. So I think that's gonna be it for today. We got our trade. We actually got exactly what we wanted to see. And then there's not much else for me to do. The only thing I can do is go spend time with my family, enjoy my weekend, and come back Monday stronger, better.
Introducing ClickUp.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave you guys. It was nice speaking with you, and that is it for today. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope somebody learned something. And yeah, I'll see you Monday, same time. Take care, guys. Bye.